Welcome. Today we will be talking about the NFL and the Chiefs upbringing. Ask any 12-year-old girl who their favorite team is, and they'll most likely tell you the Kansas City Chiefs. This is for a very good reason, but we'll get into that later. We'll be talking about the Chiefs and its franchise and the NFL and the history of the NFL, in which, are you ready for it, dates further back than the summer of 2024. Today we'll be talking about the NFL and how it became one of the biggest leagues in the world, the Chiefs and how they became the team that they are today, and meeting key players and the team MVP. Before we get started, I would like to give you a little background information of what the NFL is. The NFL stands for National Football League and was founded in 1920 in Canton, Ohio. And originally there was only 6 teams, 3 teams in Ohio and 3 teams in Illinois. These teams would only play each other in their native states. In 1960, the NFL and the NFL and the AFL joined to create one big league under the name NFL. We'd like to take a moment to recognize our sponsor today, Red L Helmets. Thank you, Red L Helmets, for keeping our players healthy, safe, and concussion-free since 1929, the beginning of the NFL Football League. The NFL is comprised up of 32 teams, each team with the goal to hopefully make it to the playoffs and ultimately to win the Super Bowl. Each team is responsible for its own conference and competes ultimately to have a shot at winning the Super Bowl. These conferences are split up by direction: north, south, east, and west. Some background information about the Chiefs. The Chiefs were founded in 1960, originally under the name Dallas Texans. After moving to Kansas City, they renamed themselves the Chiefs after their mayor at the time, whose nickname was Chief. Some might speculate that the mascot is culturally insensitive due to its origin, but many people still do the tomahawk chop during every game before the game. It wasn't until recent years that the Chiefs started winning games. It was the late 80s when the Chiefs turned their franchise around with their newly hired head coach Marty Schottenheimer, and he led their team to win AFC championships by its suffocating defense. Their defense was helped out by their crowd, which is now known as the loudest crowd in the world. Let's talk about some key players. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is arguably one of the best players to ever play the game of football. He was born in Taylor, Texas, to his mom and dad Pat Mahomes and his mom, Randy Martin. They unfortunately split, but when Patrick Mahomes was little, his dad played in the MLB as a pitcher. And this is where Patrick Mahomes found his love for baseball. Some may argue that Patrick Mahomes is better at baseball than he is at football. Patrick Mahomes attended the University of Texas Tech, in which he states that one of his most memorable memories is throwing 735 yards against the Oklahoma Sooners, according to the NFL Operations.com. The MVP. It has been estimated that Taylor Swift, since dating Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift has brought in a team value and NFL value of over $122 million. This is crazy. That's a lot of money. As we near the end, we've talked about the start of the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs and its organization, um, and the Kansas City Chiefs and organization, notable players, plus the MVP. For the fans, saying goodbye is like death due by 1,000 cuts. So I'm not going to say goodbye. I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for listening.